Yo, mic check. Everyday Superpower. Signing in. We're going to talk game today, alright? We talk relationships, body language, and everything in between on this channel. Before we get going, two links down in the description of this video. One of them links you to a YouTube playlist of mine called The Catalogue of Body Languages, to where you're going to learn the ins and outs, the tops to the bottoms of everything subconscious and non-verbal. Okay, so you'll learn the game from A to B if you click that playlist and have a browse through, see what suits you. An alternate link would be to the Patreon, which you can join me in watching, experiencing, assessing, analysing and observing real life dates, where we'll see two people go on a date who have never been introduced before, see whether there's attraction, repulsion, and we're going to have a look deep into the body language and communication in that regards, as to which you won't forget. You'll take it onto your life and you'll become Casanova in no time, alright? Now, today I'm going to talk about committing, and the emphasis of this video is going to be in regards to not committing. Don't commit, and that's not to say be flaky. You can really allow someone into your life. You can really be vulnerable, but you never want to offer 100%. You always want to have, to some degree, leverage over the situation, the community, the individuals whom you are dealing with. And this isn't to play games. This is purely to ensure your survival and that you aren't put in a bad place, alright? So, we do talk attraction, attraction and relationships and stuff, but this would also have applications within workplaces and any other situation in between, alright? Don't commit and always find yourself a little bit of leeway to have leverage over the entire situation as to where you can walk away, alright? So, speaking on relationships to start, and we'll probably bounce back and forth with a couple of ideas within different zones. I do apologise, it's getting late on my end. So, committing in a relationship, yeah. Oh, I love her so much, I'm going to give her 100%. If you were to give somebody 100%, by default, you become a little bit, what's the word? They become a necessity. And subconsciously, that person might start to feel lesser of you purely as you are putting yourself in a subordinate position to them. You see where I'm coming from? Whereas if you can walk away at any moment, given it was necessary, not only will they respect you more, but they will treat you with more respect. And it's better for both parties, for how they perceive you, first and foremost, and for your comfort of life, your lifestyle, alright? You should never commit wholly 100%. Now, when I say commit, I don't mean you shouldn't commit to your personal endeavors, to, what you like to do, what you love, and you shouldn't go 100% all out on pursuing what means something to you. But just in regards to situations and circumstances as to where you put your lifestyle, opportunities into somebody else's hands, it can really backfire, all right? Let's take it into the workplace. So, if you commit to a job and you spend all your money outside of that job and you rely on your boss to pay you, you rely on that workplace to pay you, you rely on keeping that job, what happens when you lose it? You're gonna end on rock bottom. It's not gonna be good because you've committed yourself entirely to it, and now you'll start to see the parallels reveal themselves between workplaces, relationships, and so on and so forth. Even entrepreneurial endeavors. You're gonna want to know when to leave a situation because it's very easy to get so tied up in things as to where what you once loved and what you once had control over now controls you and has complete dominion over your life and so forth. So if you're in the workplace, regardless if you like it or not, you should always have money saved up behind you to ensure you don't fall on hard times if by any chance you need to leave. Because people say that they don't leave workplaces, they leave the managers, they leave management, and that's completely true. If you end up falling out with those whom are above you, if they feel like they can, have a laugh at your expense and stuff, which, I bet so many people listening to this can understand that. I've definitely been in that position where, those in authority have felt like they could treat you lesser. I mean, it's completely half of it works on an unconscious basis. It's just the natural hierarchy of, that particular circumstance. But if you get sick of it, you don't have to deal with it no more. You can say, F you, I'm off. And that's what you want to be. That's the person you want to be in the position you want to be of all time. There always has to be leverage. You always need your receipts in case shit hits the fan and you need to back yourself up. You need to defend yourself. You always need to keep your hands clean and you always need to ensure that you don't commit wholly 100% to the actions of others because they will always do you wrong. They will always do you wrong, even if you feel like it's not within their psyche to do it. They still are a different person and they will have fathoms and recesses of who they are that you've never seen until it's too late. And it might not necessarily be a devilish side of their psyche. It just might be a foolish thing or so forth. Because, I've given people money and assumed that they knew what to do with it in the rightful way, but they've ended up making decisions, uneducated, random decisions with that money as to where I thought, why have I done that? And they've been friends, you know what I mean? But I've assumed and judged because of that. So don't go committing to no one 100% because you never truly know what the outcome would be. All right? So I said initially, when it comes to your endeavors and stuff, there's nothing wrong with going 100% in that regards. That's kind of true, but you're not gonna be very fluid in your movement. All right, you're gonna be so fixated and glued onto that particular idea or project that when it starts to lose momentum or sort of backfire or become a waste of time, you're gonna be so involved and invested into that product that it's just gonna be such a hard detachment. All right. And that goes hand in hand with relationships, all right? When you're there in a relationship and everything sort of lost its steam and you feel like you've invested so much, whether that be literal investment in what your surroundings are, what you have, what you own together, if not invested within a marriage, if not invested within having children with the wrong person, if not so on and so forth, it's just going to become incredibly hard to move elsewhere. Now, as far as children are concerned, I'm not going to speak on that because I don't think it is right, to just jump ship when there are children involved. But, um, you know, aside from that, if it's two adults and you've sort of given yourself to that other person and now they've decided it's no good or due to external factors it's sort of gone wrong. As for before, where you could have had a little bit of leverage and a little bit of pivot to safely realign yourself in a comfortable position, you're gonna get hit with a bag of rocks. It's gonna be a horrible situation. You know, this fluidity and means of moving around stuff is not only very attractive, but incredibly powerful. People will perceive you as powerful as you will have the decision of doing what you want to do and what you see right, and you will always be safe and sound. You will never get yourself into problems or any issues. And so it's a great way to be, to not commit. It may come with its downfalls from time to time, as I don't like to put my name on too many things. So when it comes to like the powers that be or so forth. I don't like to be on the grid as much as a lot of people. I don't commit to that regards, but that has its shortfalls as far as developing credit and um, you know, particular pros when it comes to stuff like that. Marriage is something I'm not necessarily interested in, as to where I do see the benefits as that. As far as a kid being concerned, I do think it is good for children, but as far for me, a little bit selfish. I don't really see the validity in it. I've not seen it really work out as I've grown up. So it is a means of your perspective and whether you want to give 80%, 85%, 95% to the issue at hand. But the bottom line is always have a little bit of room for maneuvering, because if you're straight ahead and you give the strings to the other person, they may be able to put you in a position you never assumed initially. All right, so you need to have a little bit of foresight and expect and plan for the worst. And that's just a little talk in regards to committance. I'm signing out.